Hi everybody, welcome to our video today. We are going to learn how to make this beautiful Build a Bouquet project kit. And this is what comes in the kit right here. And these are the additional supplies that you'll need. You'll need this fantastic Build a Bouquet stamp set. You're going to need 4 ink pads, Hello Honey, Island Indigo, Mellow Moss, and Strawberry Slush. Since the stamp set's photopolymer, you are going to need some clear blocks, and a bone folder, some needle nose pliers, any pliers will do, and a glue gun, and our awesome handy dandy silicone mat. There are full instructions that come with the kit. I am going to teach you how to do one of each of the flowers today, but if you ever have any questions, feel free to reference the instructions as well. So let's get started and let me show you what we're going to make. We're going to make this gorgeous bouquet today. Well, maybe not all of these, but I'm going to show you how to make one of each flower. And we're going to start with this gorgeous poppy right here. All right, let's start with this gorgeous poppy right here. Isn't that beautiful? To assemble this flower, you're going to need 8 large petals from the kit. You're going to need 8 small petals from the kit, 4 of these fringe, these black fringe right here, and one of the wire pieces, 2 large leaves, and a flower base. From the stamp set, you're going to need this stripy textured piece and one of the leaf middles, the Mossy Meadow ink, and the Strawberry Slush ink. So to start, you're going to stamp all of your pieces, and you're going to set them aside to dry. There are 2 sides to the paper. There's a smooth side and kind of a rough side, and depending on which side you stamp, the rough side will dry faster, and the smooth side will have a cleaner, more smooth look. So kind of experiment and see which side you like best, but stamp them all, set them aside to dry. And when they're all stamped, they will look like this. So since those are drying, we've stamped them and they're drying, we are going to make our fringe middle. And to do that, you're going to take your black strips, like I mentioned, you need 4 of them, and you're going to take a bone folder and really, really gently just drag it along this bottom here to kind of break those fibers up. And look at that, how it's already starting to curl. This is going to make it so much easier for us to adhere it to our wire and assemble our middle. So we're going to use our glue gun, and we're just going to put a small amount of glue on the edge of your wire. We recommend using hot glue for this project because other adhesives just aren't quite strong enough. And as you do the project, just make sure you're careful and just use a small amount of glue. Actually, I'm going to put a little glue right there. Put the wire, glue the wire on, and then you're going to wrap this as tightly as possible around your wire. And you're going to do this 4 times with all 4 pieces, and when you're done, your piece will look like this. All right, now we're ready to assemble our petals, and you'll notice your petals have a slit in the middle like this. So we just need to glue these together to give our flowers a little bit of dimension. Now you need to be careful with this step because if you glue them too much, your flower isn't going to look quite right, and you're going to have a hard time gluing it onto the base of your flower. And if you don't glue it enough, then your flower is going to be really flat, and it's not going to have enough dimension. So you want to kind of get a fine balance between them. So just lay your petal flat, put a small bead of glue, and then you're just going to barely fold those flaps over so you're getting a little bit of dimension, but not too much. So do that with all of your large petals and all of your small petals. And when you're done, you'll have all of those. And now you're ready to start assembling your flower. So we have our fringe middle, and we have all of our petal pieces glued together. And now we can start assembling our flower. So we're going to start with our small petals, and we're just going to put a small amount of glue across the bottom. And we're just going to start adhering them to the base of our fringe. And like I mentioned, flowers have a lot of pretty dimension, and they're meant to look really full and beautiful. So don't be afraid to kind of scrunch these and shape them the way you want. With these ones, I recommend starting with one side and then doing the other side like that. And then you're going to glue these two petals here and here just to get you started. And then you can kind of see where you need to fill in the petals as you go along. So let me show you the finished flower one more time. So you're going to glue on all of your petals. When you're done, you're just going to glue your base on and your poppy's done. Repeat these 5 times to finish all of your poppies. Let's move on to our next flower. For our next 3 flowers, I want to show you how to do the middles because they require just a little bit of extra instruction. So we're going to take our wire piece and our needle nose pliers, and you're just going to bend the wire down just a little bit like that. And then you're going to bend this back on itself. And what we're doing here is we're creating a base because we're going to glue our button on top so that our flower center looks full and like it's a blossoming flower. So we've created this little loop. Now we're just going to bend it until it's sitting flat. So we have a flat base for our button. There are 2 sizes of buttons. There's medium and small. Make sure, I'll let you know, but make sure you reference your instructions as well, so you're making sure you use your medium button with the flowers it needs to and your small button with the flowers you need to. So now we've created our base and we're going to glue our button on. So just use a little bit of glue. Glue your button down and they'll end up looking like that. Then we're going to take your Hello Honey tissue paper and you're going to glue 2 of them together to create a really thick, nice cover for the button. And then you're just going to pull this over your button. My advice here is try to get this as snug as possible. And it might take some finessing, but it's paper. So the more you play with it, the softer it's going to get. And the more pliable and the easier it's going to be. Then we're going to take our floral tape and we're going to wrap it around. If you need to use a little bit of glue in this step, that's totally fine. Remember when using floral tape that if it's not adhering well, gently stretch it and that activates whatever adhesive is inside that floral tape. And it's not a strong adhesive. So if you at any point find you need a little bit of extra adhesive, just use some hot glue. All right, let me show you how to do our next 3 flowers. He loves me, he loves me not. Let's make a daisy. This one is so fun to put together and really simple. Let me show you how to do it. You're going to start with your medium flower button center, so make sure you've got one of these assembled. You need 4 of these white fringe tissue paper strips. And be careful with these. I mean, you don't have to be too careful, but be kind of careful because when I was making some of these, I got a little bit enthusiastic and I did tear some. So just be gentle when you're assembling your flowers. You're also going to need 2 small leaves. So I'm going to set those aside. And then you're going to do your stamping. And you're going to use this flower center here and this small leaf. And you're going to stamp them about 3/4 of the way up in Hello Honey. And then, of course, just stamp the center of your flower or of your leaf with a mossy meadow. So once you've got all your stamping done, set them aside to dry, and then you can assemble your flower. So you're going to start with your base in one of your flower fringes, and just put a tiny bit of glue down. And then you're going to wrap this around your flower, and feel free to use more small beads of glue. Okay, so I've finished gluing my fringe on. The next step I wanted to mention is that you have this seam right here where your fringe ended as you were gluing it on. I wanted to suggest you just rotate your flower just a little bit. You can do to the other side or just a 1/4 of a turn or something, and start gluing your fringe on there instead of overlapping them exactly, because that way your flower petals are going to be offset a little bit. You can see already where it's resting in between. When you go to curl your leaves down, your daisy petals are all going to be aligned and your daisy is going to look like it has some bald patches. So you're going to keep doing that all the way around with all 4 fringes. And when you're done with that, the final step is you want to curl these petals down. And to do that, you're just going to take your bone folder and you're just going to really gently curl the petals. You can do a couple at a time. If you feel like one needs a little more dimension than another, then you can work with the petals a little bit. But you can see it goes down really easy, just like that. So here's the finished flower one more time. Don't forget to glue your little leaf on. And then when you get all of your fringe glued on, you'll also want to wrap your center with your floral tape. And that is how you make that flower. Let's move on to our next one. All right, the next flower we're gonna make is this gorgeous chrysanthemum. And this was my favorite flower to assemble because it was just so wild and fun. I loved it. So let me show you how to do it. We're gonna start with our small button center this time. So make sure you've got those assembled. You'll need a medium leaf, and then you're gonna need 4 of these pool party fringes. And we're going to glue them to our base, just like we did with the daisy. Careful not to burn yourself. And same thing applies. Roll it up, and when you get done, make sure you're offsetting those seams so that your flower petals are lying evenly. When you get done with that, you're going to wrap your center with the floral tape, just like this. And then you have the fun opportunity to sit and curl these petals down. And we're just going to do it just like we did with the daisy. Just curl them. This one, I did most of mine individually. You don't have to do it that way, but I wanted it to have that really like crazy rock star flower look. So I really got crazy with mine, but you could be more delicate about it than I was. Make sure you stamp your leaf with the Mossy Meadow ink and glue it on. And once you finish all those steps, you're gonna have some wicked cool chrysanthemums. A rose by any other name would still smell as sweet, except for these don't smell like anything because they're paper, but they're still pretty to look at. Let me show you how to make this super cute wild rose flower. So you're gonna pull out of your kit 20 of these crisp cantaloupe petal pieces. You need 2 of the basic black die cut flower centers, a flower base, and a medium leaf. And what you're going to do, first of all, is you're going to stamp the center of your flower with strawberry slush ink and your medium flower center. And then we're going to adhere our petals just like we did with the poppy, making sure we're not overlapping them too much and not too little, just enough to give them some dimension. To assemble your flower, you're going to take your medium button base and your 2 die cut black centers, and we're going to actually curl gently these ones up, well, one of them up, just like this. And then we're going to curl one. You can curl in the same way, just make sure they're resting opposite directions on your flower. So we're going to do that, then we're going to thread that through and get that up as close to the center of our base as possible. And this is why it's so important to have your centers, these flower centers, nice and snug against the wire so you can get your stamens on there. And we're just going to put the second one on and kind of have it going down just like that. Now we're going to glue our petals on, and the same recommendation for this one. We're going to put 4 petals on, 1 on each side, and then we'll fill in the gaps. I did not put enough glue on there. There's a fine balance between too much glue and then you get all of the stringies and nonsense that comes with using hot glue, and then using not enough glue and having it dry before you even get it on there. So I'm sure you guys are much better at hot gluing than I am when I'm trying to film a video. Okay, so we'll get those 4 petals on there, and then just keep going until you fill the petal out, or the flower out. Then you're going to add your base, you're going to add some floral tape, and you're going to glue your leaf on. And that is how you make your flower, your wild rose flower. Who you calling pansy? Just kidding. We're going to make some pansies. So the first step is you're going to pull out of your kit, you're going to pull out 9 of these pool party flowers, the pansy flowers. You need 3 little stems, and 3 of these Hello Honey centers. And you're going to stamp all of your flower petals using this splotchy stamp and Island Indigo ink. So stamp them all, set them aside to dry. This is what they look like when they're done drying. The next step is you're going to take your yellow fringe, your Hello Honey fringe, and you're just going to very gently start to curl it using your bone folder. Can you hear that? That makes the coolest sound. All right, then we're going to take one of our wires and we're going to just put a little bit of glue on the end. And then you're going to wrap this around your wire center, just like this. This is what it'll look like when you're done. Then I found it was easiest just to put a little tiny stream of glue around the edge there. And then you can just thread your flower up through the center and then kind of squish it and shape it and manipulate it so you get it right where you want it. And it will go pretty far over that yellow center there. Then you just put a little more glue on the bottom there. Take your second flower and then make sure you're offsetting it. You don't want your petals to rest right on top of each other. You want them to look full and pretty and like they grew in the wild and not in your craft room. And then you're going to do this one more time. Just like that. And that's how you make your pansy. Then you're going to use some floral tape and you're going to adhere this to your stem. Then when you get done with that, you're going to adhere 3 of these flowers together using your floral tape, and your flower will look just like that. So that's how we make all of our flowers. So we've talked about how to make all of these gorgeous flowers today. I hope you've had a lot of fun learning. This is an enormous bouquet, so don't plan on trying to get all of these flowers done in one sitting. Maybe if you need to get caught up on some TV shows or watch a movie, and then you can spend a little time doing these flowers. These flowers make a great gift. You can put them in a vase and attach a tag. The stamp set comes with some really great greetings and a whole set. The kit comes with tags so that you can make them. It also comes with a little bit of ribbon and some linen thread. So you can tie this up as a bouquet, you can throw it in a vase and give it away. I hope you've had fun learning how to make these flowers today. If you're interested in purchasing this kit, be sure to contact your local demonstrator or visit our website at www.stampinup.com. Have a great day. Thanks for joining me.